Welcome to Bad Bitches on the Bad Batch. I'm Arzu from Space Waffles, and with me,
I'm Candace from Geeky Waffles.
I'm Maggie from the Outer Rim Beacon, and let's talk about Star Wars.
Hello, I'm Norhal from Twitter.
I'm Sarah from the Friends of the Force.
I'm Josh also from Outer Rim Beacon.
all right. So tonight we are talking about episode 13, Infestation, and episode 14, War Mantle. So let's jump right into it. Hello. So let's jump right into it. I know some of us preferred episode 14 way over episode 13, but before we start on that, anybody want to advocate for episode 13? We will talk about it generally.
The only thing I have to advocate is Roland.
Roland Duran. Yeah.
Like
I had to look it up because I was like,
boy.
what was last week's episode? And then I had to rewatch stuff.
Roland.
And his bed. What was the name of his bed? Yeah.
Ruby.
he was-
Ruby.
Yes.
Ruby was the best part of the episode.
I know.
I will say that I really, really enjoyed like the mine train action, though. I
know,
enjoyed
that should be
the
a ride.
setting a lot.
Add that to Galaxy's Edge.
Okay,
Exactly.
did anybody note this while watching the episode? Because I thought it was funny. Is they're like, okay, let's go into the mines. So they go 3 blocks away from Sid's and go into the mines. And then they pop up at Sid's 3 blocks away. But when they go with the Marauder to get the spice out of the mines,
so
they're
far.
like several miles out of town.
Yeah.
So the mine cart goes out of town and then loops back around and then comes back in 3 blocks away, which I thought was very interesting. And hilarious.
Magic.
Can we just talk about how this whole episode of a kids show is talking about drug running?
Yes.
I mean, the Martez sisters episode was about that too, basically, and
Yep.
Clone Wars.
And
then
the
we
post plot and the rise of
It's medicinal. It's medicinal.
Medicinal
Spice.
spice.
But it's spice.
I just love it's like they keep mentioning spice. And I'm like, you mean drugs?
Well, it's like the middle grade Star Wars novel Poe Dameron Freefall for 8 to 12-year-olds.
yes,
It's entirely about him with his
Yeah.
drug cartel.
Yep.
yep. And Alex,
Choices were made.
Alex Segura tried to.
Imagining parents being like, no, it's oregano. They're talking about oregano and like pepper
And
stuff like
thyme.
that. Yeah.
They want to make
Yeah.
sure people have well-seasoned food, you know?
Yeah. You know, those ration bars are
It's
Plain.
illegal.
And
'cause
then
it's
they
too
get to go
spicy.
see Dune, and we have spice, some more spice.
Spice. Spice up your life.
Okay, so episode 13 was a bit of a departure from episode 11 and 12, which were
A bit.
more Clone Warsy in that
Yeah.
it was like an overarching like story arc and it was sort of contributing to the larger plot. And then episode 13, we're kind of back to this adventure of the week thing.
Yeah.
So
they
was
just
I
keep
the only
doing
one
this running
disappointed by
story.
the format change? Or
Yeah, because they're like teasing you and like, oh, okay, we're getting to the good stuff. We're getting to like this arc. And then it's like, no, we're going back to Sid's again.
And like no reference of it.
I know.
The Gungans.
We're
Did
so
anyone-
close to the
Oh.
end too. It's like doesn't feel like an
Yeah.
appropriate time to divert when we don't have much time left.
if this had been like the first mission post buying out their contract from Sid, I think that would have made sense.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But
It definitely felt misplaced, and it felt like, you know, we're going on the roller coaster. As I was talking about on our episode of Friends of the Force, I was like, we're on a roller coaster, right? And it's going so well. We're having so much fun. We're yelling. We got our hands up, and then we hit like the break in the middle of the ride, and you just are like stopped. You're like, oh, but we have 3 more turns to go. We've got a couple more exciting drops. So it pauses in a very weird spot, and it's a perfectly serviceable episode. It just like comes after this really incredible cliffhanger. We were like, oh my gosh, the stakes are so high. It's so intense. Crosshair, oh my God. And then we like get nothing of Crosshair. And you're like, where is he? We want more of him this whole
Where
time.
is he
I had
okay?
this weird revelation, and I think I was talking to Arzu about it last week. That something I think we haven't fully maybe accepted as a fandom is that there's a huge potential that all of these episodes were scripted out years ago when the Bad Batch arc was originally conceptualized for television, when the Clone Wars was still airing and everything got scrapped. And so what we're dealing with is still very much Cartoon Network, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, come back styling, and that this show might not fully get a stride until a second season, that they're still playing with that kind of uncomfortable, short, not made for streaming behavior.
Yeah, I have the same feeling too. That in, for example, thinking about the stakes on this on episode 13, that they were going to help Sid, it would have made me more sense right after they bought out the contract and we see this connection between Omega and Sid, right? Then we jump to
like 5 episodes in between. 4 episodes, yeah.
I almost wonder now if maybe this had been conceived as earlier, like right after they buy out their contract, and then when they were scheduling it out, they're like, okay, we go from 2 episodes on Ryloth to presumably 3 episodes, like episode 14, and then a 2-part finale dealing with the fallout with Crosshair. And they're like, that's just 5 episodes of like go. Mm-hmm. And they're like, it's too much. We should slow it down. Let's just move one of the unconnected episodes in between, not realizing that, like Sarah said, it's like hitting the brake in the middle of a roller coaster.
And it really is disconnected. I feel like you could watch that.
You can watch it on its own.
And which is a choice.
And we're getting some of the same lessons that we got earlier in the season with, you know, Wrecker making a silly mistake that causes a problem. And then, you know, like Omega being, you know, Omega making this really compassionate move at the end where she's showing everybody how empathetic she is. And like, those are valuable things. And
Hunter
like,
being like, no, we can't help anyone. Why don't we help someone?
We never
and like,
do that.
They're valuable. It's fun because you kind of get who the characters are. But, you know, we've got that in 3 other episodes.
That almost makes me think now that, like, to further my theory, because Hunter is like, no, we're not helping Hera. And Omega's like, but she called us for help. Then they're like, we have to help Sid. And he's like, we can't help Sid. And it's like, but you just helped Hera. And then now he's like, well, in episode 14, we can't help Rex's friend. And it's like, but same lesson 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
with Hunter. And I'm like,
this is
Hunter, figure it out.
Message. It's been the same thing for like 13 episodes in a row. They've helped somebody basically every single episode,
and Hunter doesn't want to.
Sometimes they get paid, but
sometimes they get paid, but it's still like reluctance.
I think I could have almost bought Hunter's reluctance more to help Rex if that had come directly after Hera, because like, well, we almost died.
Oh yeah,
so I don't know if I want to do that again.
And there's that weird, like, we don't actually know how much time it's been between Hera and this episode, because it seemed like time had passed whenever they had this Gungan incident.
Yeah,
going
there's another
back
mission.
To Sid. Like, there's other stuff in between, and so it could have been like 5 months ago that they helped Hera. Like, we don't know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a huge, I don't want to say issue, but like just a gap in the show is not having an understanding totally of the time.
It's so weird.
In the first couple of episodes, it was very clear that we are in the immediate aftermath of 66, and like things are changing very rapidly. And you see that when Rampart is like chain codes, that sort of stuff, and you see their presence on the planets become much heavier. And then we get a little bit of that with the Raxus and Ryloth stuff, but then again we just don't know how much kind of time has been in the debate there, and I kind of hope we were getting more galactic.
In today's episode, they were able to recruit and have trained 1,000 stormtroopers who aren't clones, and you're like, that's got to take some time, because we saw at the beginning with Crosshair that he just had a couple of
3
normal born people.
4.
And even if you're distributing that across, like they said, there were like 50 clones there. So even if you're distributing 1,000 across 50 clones, they still need time to train. So we're thinking like what, a few months at least.
Well, they are stormtroopers. Do they train that much? Because we see them
they don't have a good. They don't shot anything.
Point and shoot. It doesn't matter if it hits.
Yeah.
Well, I think in like even episode 14, it's said that there is, you know, quote, an endless supply of them. And I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah. How are you
Are
getting
they
this endless
being-
supply of real
Are they
people?
being captured? Are they being like kidnapped and taken by the Empire? Are they being like forcibly conscripted? Like, give us that, because I think that really puts everything into context. I don't know. I'm just here
My
for the
thought-
galactic politics.
My thought was the way that it's like kind of like how Han was in Solo was like you get so freaking desperate, and that's the whole way that Palpatine like had people accept the Empire was because you got no food, you got no home. What else are you gonna do? Yeah,
And
travel
I
the galaxy, see worlds, and kill people. You know?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, we've seen backstories from characters in the comics and books is that their worlds where their planets where there were a lot of crime or whatever, that the Empire was like, oh yeah, like join the Empire or travel around the galaxy, like a better choice than the
Well, we
life
see
they
that
had.
in the Bad Batch too. One of Crosshair's recruits is like, the Empire did more for me than the Republic ever did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I mean, look at Luke. Luke in A New Hope is like,
He's
join the
ready to
Empire. Just I want to get the heck off of Tatooine.
Easiest way to
okay.
learn how to fly too. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, I just want to talk again about Roland.
Is it because he's beautiful?
Oh God,
So
you guys.
cute.
So beautiful.
There's a type, and there is a type. Okay, so am I specious? Because at first I was like, is that Vizago? And then when he got his horn broken too, it was like just like Vizago from Rebels also has his horn broken, and his gang is called the Broken Horn. So is this like the start of it?
I
That's a
don't
good
think
point.
that's speciesist. I to use Candace. Well, because the thing is, if you've got a Deveronian,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
If you've got a Deveronian, you want him
Deveronian.
to listen, but you don't want to kill him because you still need him. The horn is the easiest thing to go for.
Can I just say what I thought of? Arzu will appreciate this. I thought of Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yes.
Go to thegeekywaffle.com to read Arzu's top 10 of that. I am
Yes.
still scared.
The-
Actually, I shouldn't even have a blue
They're
background.
blue.
It was my first thought. I was like, oh, I do love a broken horn boy.
you go to geekywaffle.com to see where the
changing my
broken
life.
horned boy landed on my list. Not that I mentioned it, but read the books and then you'll know what I mean.
I didn't want to be blue anymore.
You don't want to be
Wow.
on Not Hoth? Oh, come on. Not Hoth's great.
Not Hoth is amazing.
Not hot. I'm,
Not Hoth.
Purple.
I have
Purple.
some understanding of this series and then also not. So I'm just gonna enjoy that.
But one of the heroines is a Star Wars fan, and she has just
Yeah.
decided so is everyone else. And they're like, we're really not. She's like, it's fine. So she
Excellent.
names the planet not Hoth.
Brilliant.
It's
Thank
great.
you so much.
Perfect.
Brilliant. I love that.
Anyway, back to the horned men that are safe to talk about without getting our video taken down. Where were we going with this?
I don't know. The way you guys were
Roland
talking about
Hot?
Roland last
Talking
week,
about
I
Roland.
was like,
Hot Roland.
Roland
This is
would
a
fit in
cool
very
one.
well on Not Hoth.
I
Oh my
want to
God.
say my first note from last week's episode was Deveronian ... hot exclamation point
Yes.
question mark. So I'm really glad we're all on the same train here. Because that was my
he's a naughty
immediate thought.
boy.
He was really the only thing that saved that episode for me. If he had not been as hot as he was, I might have been even saltier.
That's why they put him there, because they knew the episode was kind of slow, and they're like, just throw a
Yeah.
hot Deveronian at them, and people will forget,
There
and
you
they will
go.
forgive.
Truly. I mean,
Were we turned off by him being such a mama's boy though? Like, because he's obviously like doesn't really know what he's doing and is doing it to show
It's-
to prove to mommy that he
He
I'm a
has-
real gangster
He's
like you, mom.
worthy.
He has ambition. And
that means
drive.
he has a healthy relationship with his family, though.
I just wanted to see how
Does
you guys were
that?
gonna spin it.
Does that?
does it?
I don't know if it's the healthiest relationship, but
But at least he
He's
like
a
he's talking to
mischievous-
them. He's not
They're
like
alive.
he's not
Okay,
and
this
Cass
is my friend. These are my friends.
Yeah.
where is the lie?
I'm so
We
excited
love-
because I
we
love
love
that.
I love
He's a
Matt.
drug dealer, y'all.
So is Poe Dameron technically,
And
And tell me
Han Solo?
more. Plus,
Tell me
and
more.
Han Solo,
He's-
and
And Solo is always a smuggler.
like, Ruby definitely is a plus.
Ruby is okay. So this was my thought when I was first watching it. I was like, if a pet likes him, he's not all bad. And then Omega's like, if Ruby likes him, he's not all bad. I'm like, see, Omega gets it.
That's a
There you
universal
go. One of
rule.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, people do get a plus for me if dogs like them.
Well, there you go.
Agree.
They don't have dogs, but
Exactly.
they have Ruby.
No. Speaking of dogs, they were kind of the dogs in the next episode, but they were being used for evil. The
They
mastiffs.
were like little alligators.
They were mastiffs, weren't they?
I
Like the ones from
know.
Mandalorian?
Were they?
I thought so.
Ooh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
All right, so jumping on over to episode 14.
Yeah,
I
because
think
that's
we've
what we
exhausted
should be
episode
talking
13.
about.
Bugs are gross.
Okay,
So-
wait. Episode 13. Echo did not freaking speak.
No, he did not.
I
was
have a
very
lot of
disappointing.
issues with that.
That's
Oh.
because
Roy
Echo
was
was saving
silent.
I agree.
everything for episode 14 because he had so many good
It's like,
moments.
Echo was just grumpy the whole time.
But
Yeah,
there
he
should
was
be
like,
an
guys.
episode when there's only a few of you in this bad batch, when one of the bad batch don't talk.
Doesn't speak at all.
Yeah, that's my issue.
And I mean, we know,
She knows her creatures.
She does indeed.
mastiffs, yeah.
and we know that like Echo is not one of the Bad Batchers that we've gotten the most character development from. So double bummer.
I know he's
Yeah.
he's our fave.
He's our
We admit
best
to it.
boy.
Our sweet
Yeah,
boy,
same.
so
He's-
cinnamon
he's-
roll boy.
He's
at the
so
grumpy
good.
boy.
Look at him.
This is my try me. Just try me, Hunter.
Just
I'm
try
ready
me.
for a fight.
Hey,
Finally,
Echo's got a good point.
finally, we got reminded that like, oh yeah, Echo like worked and is like brothers with Rex. Like, we did not get a moment really like that when Rex was actually in the freaking
They
episode.
did
It was
not
just
speak. They did
it was
not
just him
speak.
and Hunter. And I was like, hey, Echo's your boy right there. He's all you got left of the 501st.
I'm still mad about that episode because he literally
Same.
brings up fives. There's an ample opportunity for Echo to speak to Rex about the whole situation. There's a moment when Rex walks to the hallway while all the clones are getting their chips being taken out. But no, let's time wipe.
I know.
Yep, they're closing
So let's talk about Echo's moments in episode 14 because he's got two. So the first one is yes, this grumpy boy moment where once again they get a call from help and Rex is like, I'm a little tied up at the moment and my head went somewhere else. And then he's like,
Mine too.
I'm like, oh, okay, Rex, it's 6:00 in the morning. No, so anyway, so he's like, I can't do this right
Did you
now.
make this just for the two of us?
No, Norhal's on here too, and apparently
Yay.
Sarah.
Norhal's also-
I just
we're
met
all
Sarah, and I think this goes for her
Yeah.
too.
So he's
I
like,
like
Josh, are you same like me?
I'm not sure where I fall right now. To be determined.
Yeah, TBT.
so when
TBD.
when Rex calls them and is like, go help my friend, and Hunter's like, should we? Again, then
Same conversation.
same
The
thing.
Same
Echo-
conversation.
I
Okay.
think we're supposed to think that this is repetitive because Echo finally loses it. And he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter why this person is there. It doesn't matter that we don't have the information. They need help or Rex wouldn't have asked. And then
Rex with a poncho, of course.
Rex with his
Star Wars
with his
poncho.
hoodie, with
Love
his
it.
Star Wars poncho.
Poncho. Rex.
Poncho.
So, like, what was cool about this moment is everybody kind of chiming in with their personality. So Tech is like, no, we're on assignment. And Omega's like, no, we have to help people. And Wrecker's like, everybody's right. So, because Wrecker doesn't like disagreement or confrontation.
Aw.
So, Echo finally had a moment.
Echo
I've been waiting
snapped.
for this.
Echo snapped.
And kind of surprised he hasn't snapped before that. Because, like,
Right.
He had that
Everyone
one
he
moment where he was like, if
Yeah.
we'd gone with Rex, we wouldn't be dealing with this right now.
yeah,
I was like,
he's
He was
holding
working
in a
his way
lot
up.
of aggression.
And the
Yeah,
other
he's-
time when he was like, you have to go talk to her. Like, you have to tell her. Like, you can't just be like not telling Omega who she is.
And
No.
then
Yeah, it's
I'm
been
sad.
later in
patient.
the episode, when Hunter's like, well, we tried, and tries to leave again, then Echo like really goes off in just what was truly a
Oh, I'm so
what I've
glad
been waiting for all season.
they
Thank
mentioned,
you.
hey, that's just like what happened to me. I was captured too. Like, there were so many moments, like Arzi brought this up in her awesome recaps on the Geeky Waffle. Like, there are a lot of moments where like his agency was taken away from him, and we're like, oh, that would not be good for someone who suffered what he suffered, as we saw in Clone Wars.
I'm glad they brought up Skako Minor at all, just because I'm like, I don't think Echo remembers where he was
Yeah, does
or
anybody
anybody
remember?
else.
No.
I don't know. What is everybody else's thoughts on this? Because I've gone.
I
on a
loved
lot about
Omega.
Echo.
Oh my
Omega
gosh, she's
Just being a tough little kid. just telling Hunter is like she's getting tired of this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that and what you mentioned about the Keiko Minor is that we don't know how much time has passed since there, but it's not like 10 years ago. It's kind of recent.
Less than a year, I would think.
Yeah,
It's
it hasn't been
Oh,
that
yeah.
long. I hope that in Hunter's absence, Echo takes over.
Yes.
Because
Mhm.
Can you imagine Wrecker trying to lead?
Oh, that'd be
I'm
terrible.
thinking Omega's going to be like,
Miss him.
back it up. I'm in charge.
The thing is that like Hunter's a really good leader on the battlefield, but he's been so bad as a leader in this new world. Whereas like Echo is uniquely equipped in the fact that like he's a reg and he's had much different training than the Clone Force, and I think he's much more adaptable.
The Batchers aren't people who do the change thing
Not at
super
all.
well.
Not at all.
And because of everything that Echo has gone through, specifically on the Skako Minor, he is changed. Like he's not the same person he was before. So
Yeah.
he's had to adapt, and he is the most adaptable. And like I think that he's the hardest character to pin down because he doesn't have that clear-cut trait that all of the other Batchers have, but he has the kind of well-roundedness and compassion for others based on his own experience and just like his general being, that makes him a strong character and a strong leader. So I agree with you, Maggie.
And I hope that he pulls in some of these alliances they've made. I mean, they made the alliance with, I'm blanking on his name, I'm blanking on the planet too. It was like 5 episodes ago. The guy that Echo didn't want to deal with and then ended up coming to terms with it. I'm blanking on
Oh,
his
the
name.
senator. The
senator, yeah.
I don't know what
separatist
his actual
senator.
Senator.
Yeah.
Mr. Raxus, Mr. Guy on
Yes,
Raxus.
Mr.
Something
Raxus.
thing?
Like
Something thing?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
we have him, we have obviously the Martez sisters, we have Rex, we have even the Syndulas. Technically, we have all these people that I think that Echo would be more inclined to be like, we should call in for actual reinforcements. Like we can get Hunter back, but we need the people that we've made friends. It's like Mando calling in a favor. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
Same kind of concept.
Except Mando is more like just people he doesn't owe him and just be like, help me, please. I have a baby.
I've met you recently.
Actually, yeah,
Hold on.
they helped him for Grogu. Like what? Like, oh, can
But
you
it
help
was a
me? No,
kitty.
but baby Yoda. Oh, okay.
Not you, Grogu, yeah.
I did see someone speculating, like somewhere online, that we have Rex out there, we have Gregor now. Are they going to call Wolf? Are they going to find him?
Whoa.
Makes sense.
Them in there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wolf's out
I
there
want it.
somewhere.
Maybe that's where Rex was.
Getting Wolf, yeah.
We don't know.
In
Oh,
addition
yeah.
to all the things that we said nice about Echo, I also just don't want Tech to be in charge because 9 out of 10 times he says something, I just want him to stop talking. He's always like,
I can't stand him. I cannot stand him.
I really wish there was so much more they could have done with him. I mean, maybe they're doing like something they did with DuckTales was each season was like based on one of the kids. So they were like the main focus of it. So maybe they're doing like this season's Hunter. And then next season will be like Wrecker's Journey. I don't know.
I
Well,
don't
the
think
tech
this
one's
is going
gonna
to
be
get
boring.
5 seasons.
Yeah.
Maybe Tech will have a breakthrough in the last episodes, like the last 2. Oh, listen, I'm going to be optimistic. Only
I will-
because
I will eat this hat. I will eat this
like a
hat.
little breakthrough. Only because they made a big. He actually got to talk this week. First of all, second of all, his whole thing was like
Why
they're
are you
like,
saying
let's
that
go
like-
do the thing,
Why are you
and he's
saying that
like,
that's
but we're on a
good thing?
mission. So maybe that will come into question, and he'll have to pick something, and then he'll wind up picking like Omega rather than the job. I don't know. I would like to be optimistic.
But,
I don't think we're going to
yeah.
get enough seasons to go in depth with everybody.
no.
Scorch was there. He was in the Clone Wars season 3 episode Witches of the Mist. He was also in Republic Commandos video game, which is not canon anymore.
Was he
But-
in the yellow?
Yeah.
The yellow detail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little
I love
nod.
that it's not canon and yet they've referenced it twice in the series.
We're looking for a way to make it canon.
Because
Yeah,
the
there's-
whole
I know.
the whole scene when
bringing
Hunter's
it in.
shot by Cad Bane is from
Yeah.
Clone Commando.
Yeah.
I had this thought about, like we've talked about on here, the whole Crosshair not really being brought up, the Bad Batch like barely recognizing like anything to do with him. And I joked about it on the Outer Rim Beacon that I think the Bad Batchers have object permanence issues. And so that
100%.
like if Crosshair is not, so like here's like worst case scenario. Next week's episode opens up and Tech has convinced them to resume the mission that they were on for Sid, and they're like, Hunter? Who's Hunter? I've never heard of Hunter before.
So they're like a
They're
baby.
thriving just
Yeah,
fine
well,
without
they
it.
are like
So-
babies.
so
They have no
peekaboo.
real life skills. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No object
That's
permanence.
right.
And then
Mega's
Megan's
just
just
like,
Hunter.
what the F?
Hunter. Like, why are people like this for it?
She's like, I'm in danger. Someone pick me up.
Why am I in charge? I'm the child.
Okay,
She's
Echo
like, I am
knows.
10.
But that would be
Echo knows. Echo
hilarious.
just doesn't care about Crosshair because he knew Crosshair for 10 minutes.
But could you
Yeah.
imagine that? The
Yeah.
outrage if next week's episode they're just like back on a mission? Hunter who?
Wait,
I
can
would
you
actually
imagine?
love that.
Can you
That would be
imagine what's
fantastic.
going through Echo's head after Crosshair is left behind and nobody mentions him? And Echo's like,
These
You guys
guys
aren't
are so weird.
you guys aren't gonna say anything? That was like your brother. Like
He's
she's
like,
like,
maybe I made the wrong choice sticking around.
Like, am I safe
oh,
here?
mm.
No.
the
Echo
number
didn't
of
like
times.
Echo didn't like Crosshair. Like
No,
when
he
the
didn't.
one time they remembered to bring him up, he's like, "But he shot at you." So to him,
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
like,
"Your brother shot at you." So
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
guy's a
why you're
jerk.
even upset that he's not here.
I know we love this moment from today's episode when he just
I
like
know.
gives Hunter the death glare, but he's done this numerous times. If you go back through like the episodes, whenever Hunter's talking, Echo's just over here like,
That's his default expression when the Bad Batch is
I'm
talking.
looking at you.
he has resting batch face.
Echo's like, I should have stayed with Rex. I should have stayed with the 501st.
Echo's
Exactly.
really like,
I should have
I
taken up
wonder if I could
farming.
call
Anything
Rex.
is better than this.
Could I call Rex? Could I?
Is it
could I
too
leave?
late? Like I should probably take this kid. Move for
Like,
somewhere
Omega
safe.
and I should just cut and run, right?
Yeah,
Let's
this
pick
is
me up.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Rex, these guys are really weird. They lost a brother and they don't even talk about him.
They're raising a child wrong.
Okay,
She's
so
gambling.
I will
back to
say-
Crosshair. He's actually in this episode. He's
For
in
like
episode
a
14.
few times.
Like 5 minutes, but
He had a mini arc. He had lines. They
He
remembered him.
Was
We
on
love
to a new
concept.
mission, so some time has apparently passed.
I guess his whole "Can I hunt down the Bad Batch" thing was like a side hustle.
I know.
It didn't happen. They got brought to him.
I literally like when he was like, "Oh, I've been doing my assignment," and his assignment was like something else. I was like, "Oh my god, not again! We're just skipping ahead."
He's like, I tried. It was hard. I moved on.
I will say this reminds me, I was watching like this YouTube video and it was talking about like some YA protagonists and they're like, they all want to be great assassins and they come up with these great plots and they just fail to assassinate the character.
They
And
usually
it
fall in
kind of
love with
feels
him.
like that. Well, yes. Which I mean, I'm here for. So, but like, I feel like Crosshair's doing that. He's like, I got the plans, I got the drive. And then he's like executing those plans. It's much easier if they just come to me. Let me let you know where I'm at.
Okay, but what do we think his plan is? Because he's like, I wanted everybody, but you'll
Hunter's
do
Yeah.
it.
bait. Hunter's bait, right?
Hunter's bait.
But then
Yep.
what does he
Yeah.
want to do with him?
Maybe put a chip in his head.
Put a chip in that head.
But the-
that,
Wait, no, he does know that their chips are gone, right?
he doesn't know.
No, he
does.
was
Yeah,
on
they-
the.
He was
There,
there,
they know.
right?
Because
On
they
Thunder.
tried to talk to him about the chips so that he's aware.
They tried to talk to him for half a second, and then they're like,
didn't-
"Let's just shoot him."
They tried.
They did not
but
try
think
hard
about this.
enough.
The storytellers think that they had a whole conversation.
Yeah.
That was enough to work with.
Oh my.
Just bring Crosshair back.
Do
I don't.
you?
No.
Okay.
I'm still advocating for the redemption arc. I'm not.
I mean,
gonna
I
get
would
it,
love,
so.
would love for them to be alone in Hunter's cell and Hunter being like, "Look, we don't have to do this. It's you and I. Like, there's a way for us to take the chip out of your head. Like, you don't have to be this person. You can come to the good side." But then I also want that to happen and Crosshair to be like, "I love
So
being
what-
evil."
But that's
So would
not
you
Hunter.
say
That's going to
that-
be the one that's going to have that conversation.
No, it's gonna be Omega.
Yeah, like
Omega.
I'm like, "Ugh, we're right there. We're right there.
We're almost
Like
there.
don't do it. Don't go this way. Something like
No, Norhall.
that. Sorry.
bad
Okay,
normal.
but given the way things have gone, I feel like when we go back to Hunter and Crosshair next week, Hunter's just going to growl at him a lot. Yes!
Yes.
What the heck does that have to do with anything?
See, Hunter's just gonna growl at him a lot.
Just because I'm not saying that you don't have to
Timing
go to
excellent.
sleep. My timing has been spot on tonight.
Yes.
Very chaotic.
It has. I can attest to it. It's been like uncanny.
This is how Echo's been feeling this entire like arc.
Like, guys, yeah. Like shutting down. Like, what?
I'm done with these people.
Which an eternal mood, truly. So he understands what it's like to be like in a chaotic
Okay.
workplace. So
Yeah,
Look
our
at the
Twitch is
record.
getting inappropriate. 1 second.
What? I
What?
was thinking thoughts. How did you know what I was thinking, Candace? I'm afraid.
Okay, so I want to know, do you guys think
I try not to.
do you guys think that one of the Bad Batch is gonna die?
I was thinking
No,
Hunter was
I
dead
hope
today.
not.
Tech. It's gonna
No.
be Tech.
I hope it's Tech.
I would like to advocate for Tech for 2 seconds, if that's okay.
Please advocate for Tech.
But I'm more advocating for different writing of Tech than this particular characterization of Tech, because I love me a good brains. I love me a good I can't do emotions. I only do logic, and therefore this is the logical path. Like it works for me. I don't know. Like Spock.
if
like,
it's done
that-
well, it can work so well.
and like I love those characters. And it's like Tech. It's all there. It's all there. His name is Tech, for God's sake, and I want them to utilize that because there's the potential for that humor with him too. But like C-3PO is very funny because he's so aloof in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like we could be doing that for Tech. He could be a
We
little bit of
could.
comedic
Or
relief. He could be a little bit of useful information, like a useful guy. He doesn't
Or
have to be
K2SO in
this
Rogue
butt
One.
all the time.
He doesn't. And he doesn't have to be like, children are prone to a little dramatic. Shut up, Tech. You've only known 2 children.
Could
I
it be
really-
that the other characters aren't reacting to him in the right way to make it funny?
If
like
Wrecker
with
laughed, I
C-3PO.
feel like if Wrecker laughed or like bantered with him, it would work.
Well, Wrecker did it one time. He was telling him something about the engine, and he was basically like, "Shut up, nerd." I don't know what he actually said, but like,
yeah, I
but, you know,
remember that.
you have Han Solo, who's like, someone plugged a professor in the back. Like you have a mainline character to play off of to make the droid like person funny. Spock has Kirk, like without
Yeah.
Kirk to
Exactly.
like, what are you
I
doing?
love me some Spock. I love me some logical Vulcan boy.
Yeah.
Give Tech that same energy. That's what I just
He needs
that's
that
what
energy.
I desire.
Please.
I think it would elevate
But
everything, honestly.
I really did think Hunter was dead because he fell far and
That was
hard.
quite the fall.
Did
That
you think
was
they were just going to
tough
kill, like,
call.
unceremoniously kill him without, like, a swelling score or something? Do you know what I mean?
What is happening in the chat?
I disabled it, the Twitch
Okay.
one,
Okay.
because I don't know. That was weird. Okay,
Great.
we're getting new followers. I don't know what that means. I'm
That's not
scared.
a good thing.
No, it's not. It's not what
Not
we
a good
wanted.
thing.
It's not what we wanted. And
Oh.
I texted Bree too. Bree knows Twitch better than I do.
Okay.
And so yeah, Bree's handling it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops.
Anyways, so
Okay.
I forgot how
Anyway.
gross the internet can be, but here we are again. It's always nice to be reminded.
Gregor.
There we go.
I love how
Anyway.
he was played.
You saw the
He had,
chat,
like,
too.
he had that bit of crazy because he's gonna go crazy, where he's already is crazy.
Yeah.
And
Because he has the head injury.
mhm.
A head injury. Yeah.
Why did they have him be the one training the stormtroopers? Is what I wanted to know. Like,
Chaos energy.
yeah.
Competent.
And he
Same.
said he didn't teach them everything, so like he knows. Like, do you think he's the reason all the stormtroopers are bad?
Could be.
It's possible.
They're like just doing they're doing what he has a little course, and they're just like, we're just teach him this,
That's Grogu's legacy.
and that's why they can't shoot anything.
Yeah.
You know what? I honestly I love that for him because it works out in the end. Our heroes later on, benefit from the stormtroopers' ineptitude. Is that the right word?
So lousy,
Yeah.
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 I wonder if this was like part of the program. So the clone troopers, like Gregor, train them incorrectly. And then those stormtroopers graduate up and also train incorrectly. And then 20 years later, when Luke, Leia, and Han are running around, these people just have no freaking clue what they're doing. I wonder
Plausible.
if they're like canonically setting up why stormtroopers are bad at their jobs.
It tracks. I
Yeah.
appreciate
So
it.
Gregor is the
Continuity.
reason that all of them are
Gregor
bad.
is the reason that stormtroopers can't aim.
Make it
He
a
probably
feature.
told them. He probably told them. So if you shoot a little bit to the left, it actually goes to the right.
Yeah, because your blaster has some rebound, so you want to maybe go up and down.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, I love the scene where Omega is stressed out and she's holding Lula. That was
Lula.
so cute.
Oh.
I'm saying her name wrong.
Very cute.
I know. Wrecker's
Yeah.
trying to play the game, and she's just really worried. But I bet he's trying to play to get her mind off of it too.
Yeah.
Because Wrecker's
Wrecker
like,
is-
Yeah,
Wrecker's like a
cute.
ding dong everywhere else, but he's really good with Omega.
he's so
So
good.
good.
Yeah.
He
Has this this vibe of older brother, really
Totally.
kind with him.
Yeah.
yes, they're all like, hey, this isn't gonna go good for us. And let's just make sure.
Yeah,
they
because
get
it makes sense. Because if you are used to the idea of being a clone, part of a clone army, and you are going to train your replacement, it's I'm not gonna be really specific or make them high skill as the clones. Makes sense.
Mhm.
I wonder what it was. I don't remember if Gregor specified, but what was it that made him decide that he had enough and wanted to go? Was it just because it was the Empire, or was it how much did he see?
That's a good
I don't
Did I
remember
miss
him
it?
saying.
He didn't mention.
Yeah. Well, maybe he heard Rex was out there fighting the good fight, and he's like, "Hey, I want to, join."
Oh, I mean, called Rex, come pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
Come pick me
Yeah.
up. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Rex,
Oh.
come pick me up. I want to be a rebel now.
Yeah, I know it's been a minute since we last chatted, but I just have some updates. And things aren't going so well. I'm a little concerned. And Rex is like, yeah, and yeah, I got you. We're on the same page here, friend.
I'm going to get Wolf. My friends are going to come get you. It's all good.
Yep, we're gonna have an epic team up. It'll be great.
We're all going to go live in the desert. It's fine.
Yes.
So what else happened? I feel like a lot happened.
The
Let's talk
Kaminoans.
Kaminoans for a second.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
are you having
yeah,
with
yeah.
those? You think they were already going off to make some palps?
Don't.
Oh, too soon.
I
Ouch.
definitely
No,
think
thank
that's
you.
why Admiral Rampart wanted Nala Se alive, because she's a clone
Dr.
scientist. But
I mean,
Ugh.
by now, Dr. Pershing is like a baby or a young kid, but
I want baby Dr. Pershing training to be a clone scientist with giant glasses. This is all I want.
yes,
Aww.
training with
Yeah.
Lama Se.
So they killed the prime minister, yes?
We didn't. The thing is, I thought we'd once the doors closed, we would hear blasters or something, but we didn't hear
But
anything.
they didn't.
But
But do you think? Okay, who has seen Black Widow? Noel has.
I have.
Yes.
Oh, you have? Oh, yeah, you saw it too. I remember you texted me about it. Okay,
But I don't care
so-
about spoilers. So
Okay, but do you think the prime minister and the other Kaminoans did something to the clones to make sure they didn't ever do any violence towards them?
I think they probably the chip in their head was probably
Had another
but
a faith.
Yeah, just have some fall a safety on the
Like a
the safety
fail
on the
safe.
phone. Yeah, just like because also I don't think anybody's trusting like Dooku or Palpatine. They seem smart enough, these Caminos.
Yeah. It's very,
I don't think they
Yeah,
were
makes
clones that
sense.
killed him, though. I think they were those commandos.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay, he's dead then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like watching this scene again on my second monitor, and I'm just I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment over the potential death of Lama Su, and like makes me sad. It makes me sad as somebody who's always just, from childhood been a big lover of the Kaminoans. I didn't catch that on the first watch, which was my only watch for this one, so that's on me.
Oh.
But ouch, actually. R.I.P. Lama Su, perhaps.
I mean, you could live with the traditional Star Wars rule of no body.
That,
You
I
know.
mean, who knows?
No body, no death.
Look,
Maybe-
I mean, hey, somebody just got shot in the head and he's still apparently alive. So
we saw
Or
Darth
nothing
Maul's
heard.
body
Yeah.
in half, and he lived another 20 years.
It's a great point.
No one's ever
Lama
really
Su will be
gone.
back.
Lama Su lives.
Lama Su lives. I'll,
Yep.
I'll put it on a t-shirt. Wear it to Celebration. I believe it.
Lama Su lives.
So
Justice for the Kaminoans.
maybe
Do you
this
think
is
this
just
will end in a cliffhanger?
the season?
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever
Yeah,
allowed
it's
to be.
Oh.
He's just yelling at the troopers, not knowing like that they're actually like real people. Not
I would love it if those doors closed and you just hear Lama Su yelling like an out of context word.
or like jargon boot or whatever that
I
food
just-
his hair likes.
I just watched
Bunta or
I
something
just
like
watched
that.
Night at the Museum
May
and
Lu
the,
run.
May
the
Lu run.
money horses, like their code word is Dakota.
Oh, Night at Museum, the best.
It truly is.
maybe it was just me, but when Nala Se was like escorting the young troopers out, like the little, I just keep thinking of them as mini bobas, and that's I know that's not
Mini
fair, but
Boba, yeah.
the little
called
mini
them
bobas, which was
baby
escorting them
men.
out, she's like, "You're gonna go somewhere safe now." Did anybody else think they were about to watch a shuttle full of children explode? Because I did.
I was like, they are
scared.
not
Yes.
going to kill the Clone Youth Brigade, are they? Are they going to do this to me?
100%. I
Die
was like,
before my eyes.
I didn't think that I was gonna see them explode, but like I felt like we were gonna get them on a ship and have them land somewhere where you're like, R.I.P. my dudes. You were so young.
Because they're literally like 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're baby
Yeah.
men. Baby men.
Maybe Bobas.
Tragic. I mean, I know, like, we know what becomes of the program, and we know what the clones were bred for, but I'm very attached to all of them.
I know.
Even this Clone Youth Brigade that I
You
Didn't
never
really
met
know.
before.
never met before, and I'm like, I don't want any of you to die. I want you to live meaningful lives.
Yeah.
Realizing that like all the clones are going to die hurts me on like a really deep level. And the thing is like I had the theory that we were going to start seeing this because of Hauser, like,
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
and it just hurts.
Where is Hauser?
Hauser's
Where's
probably
Hauser?
dead.
Hot boy Hauser.
I feel like he's
Boy,
probably
Hauser.
dead. And that hurts.
No
me.
body. As we discussed with Lama Su approximately.
Yeah, he's
3
in a
minutes
cell
ago.
somewhere, I think, at that point.
I do want to make one
Yeah.
point, though, that we know not all the clones are going to die because
Yes.
one of them's just fine, at least.
Well, we know Rex made
One
it all
of
the way to
them.
Endor, so
Oh my gosh, my friend
Yes.
just started watching Rebels after finishing Clone Wars, and she got to second season, and she's so upset that Rex got old. Like, she forgot, like, he like ages twice as
age?
fast. And yeah, and then I think I was talking to Arzu and Magni Norhal like about this. I'm like, oh no, when Ahsoka like after Ezra saves her, she's probably gonna go find Rex, and they're gonna meet again. And they're like, Rex is probably dead by then. And I'm like, what the hell?
No, that's not what I said. I said she's going to go find Rex and stay with him until he dies.
No,
And
one
then
of
go
you
on an
said
adventure.
he's probably already dead.
That
They're
wasn't
never
me.
gonna have a reunion.
It was not
No,
me.
that wasn't me. I would never say that.
Nosy is not me.
No.
No, they have a reunion.
I wasn't in
He
that
hangs out
conversation.
till he
They
dies
have-
because he
I'm-
doesn't have
they
long
have-
left.
I'm off the hook.
A reunion
Before he dies.
A reunion?
that keeps him
A
tied up.
reunion.
Like, insert Agatha.
Do you think Rex and Ahsoka are like meeting up during this time? Of
Yes.
That's something.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Just wanted to be best friends and maybe something else. It's okay. They're the same age. In fact, no, she's older, than him by like a decade.
She's older.
She's like,
She's much older than him.
Yeah.
She's a cougar.
no, she's like
Cougar.
4 years older than him, but she's still older than him.
Yeah. Okay. We're justifying
We're
our
off
shipping
topic.
again. We are. We go so off topic with these bad batches, and I know why, but
They
it's not.
spark a conversation.
Is that it, or
Exactly.
we don't have enough to talk about?
I'm trying to think what else happened. Okay.
What are your
I have
hopes for the finale? Oh, sorry.
No, I have one thing about this episode, and then we can talk about the
Okay.
finale. Crosshair goes up to Rampart, and one of them's like, "Our operation is," I think it's probably Crosshair, like, "Our operation is underway successfully." What's the operation?
I know.
War
Getting
Mantle.
rid of the clones.
War
Getting rid of
Mantle.
the
Yeah,
clones.
War Mantle.
Damn it. I thought there was more to it than that.
I mean, there is. We
I
don't
was
know all the
hoping for a bigger
details of
answer.
it, but I think we are definitely. I wish we were getting more of the Empire side of it, the Crosshair side of it, because I think that would help to explain the world and the time period and how much time we have in between these episodes much better.
And
I don't really have
also,
an end point to that, but yeah.
At the beginning of this episode and coming on, we had final confirmation of what we knew basically was coming, that the Empire was going to cancel the contract for the Kaminoans. So
Mhm. Can we talk about the setting for like 2 seconds and this in what this space like looks like on Darrow, the planet? I think that's what it's called.
How beautiful it is.
Because I was
Yeah.
like, mountains, so gorgeous, and then we get up to the top,
Anime.
which like Alex Honnold free soloing who like they got up that mountain in no time at all, but like up at the top of the mountain, just the way that you're looking down into that space, I thought that was so impressive, and I love the design of that.
I like I love the design of it, and I think Maggie, you pointed this out, that it was very Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah,
Big time. The
Yeah,
jumping
it's-
on
it's
the
aesthetic.
lift and running and all of that was Jedi Fallen Order.
Having
and the
flashbacks to one of the levels, going no.
but also like the depth of it reminded me of Utapau, and like Utapau is a personal favorite of mine, so that was exciting for me as well.
Those like pit cities are really cool. I agree.
They're the best. They're the best.
So since we're talking about the mountain layer, can we talk about the fact that we're still stunning the enemy even now that they're like, I thought when they found out they weren't clones anymore, maybe we would switch the setting, but they're still stunning people, and it almost hurt them this time because that one clone commander, they had to stun him like 10 times before he went down.
He was not going down.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
this is maybe something they have to like learn to
That
like
you have to
stop
kill your
stunning?
brothers.
Like, because they have no problem blowing up the ships.
Right.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
That's fine. But like, I think they're so used to stunning because they're used to that being like fellow clones that they're only now realizing that they're not clones. So I think they need to like be like, right, we can shoot to kill.
Oh, so
Mhm.
like murder's fine as long as you're not like have DNA with them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close. Yeah.
Well, because to them, like, I know they feel apart from the other clones, but it's still like they're brothers. Whereas now they're just like enemy soldiers.
that's a good point.
I guess the question is like, are we going to get any sort of conversation about that, or is it just going to happen, or is it just not going to happen? Are they going to keep stoning people, and you're going to be like, guys, you're enabling them to continue harming you directly and the rest of the galaxy? 10 out of 10. Great job.
I feel like there's not going to be a conversation about this.
No, they're just gonna.
The setting
flip
is just
the
going to switch
switch,
and
yeah.
be like, oh, there's suddenly a lot of casualties.
They're just going to start shooting to kill. Nobody's going to talk
Just to
about it.
kill.
Yikes.
Completely unaddressed. Like, it's fine because they realized they weren't clones. This conversation happened off screen somewhere.
Yeah, and also, well, when they were infiltrating, how the codes were already changed to Imperial compared to the Republic. So how a lot of things are already been changing.
The armor's different.
Yes, I thought that was pretty awesome to see. Like, I immediately noticed that, very reminiscent of, I believe, the Ralph McQuarrie, like artwork for it. So have to appreciate the little things like that that kind of give us a hint of where we're at.
So, okay, so back to Candace's earlier question. Hopes for the finale, or I guess the final 2 episodes.
Rex.
Agreed.
Give me Rex or give me death.
Rex.
Everybody
Rex.
else,
Yeah.
other than Rex, what
We're
are
not
our
gonna-
hopes for the
We're not
finale?
going to keep our hopes up for Rex because I don't want to be one of those people who are like, Rex or I hate this.
Oh no, I'll probably have reasons to be grumpy anyways. So
Yeah,
not
I mean,
surprised.
I think Rex is kind of is quite possible because I mean they just rescued Gregor, and though they have to go back for Hunter, but they where is Gregor going? So
Mm-hmm.
we might see Rex. Big chance.
I'll say that I'm really
Ooh.
interested to see if we get the the batch's allegiance like formally changing to like we're going to be for helping people, and I'd be really curious if that is something that if we go back to Sid or we have any sort of interaction with Sid, if this becomes a breaking point for them or if it becomes a point of like alliance and a true change of heart into what their primary mission is.
yeah, that's a good point.
Because I like Sid. I think she's an interesting character.
Oh, I love Sid. I think Sid
Yeah,
is
she's-
fantastic. Justice for Trandoshans.
Yes.
Maybe
Not all
it's the
bad.
High Republic influence with Skier, but I'm really starting to love Trandoshans.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on all of a sudden.
She's also just got a really fun voice. Like I love listening to her.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's really
And
fun.
her quips and how like the names.
Mm-hmm. But we
Did
gotta
we
get
talk about
some
this yet?
change.
Boba. Yes.
I
Oh,
think
you
this
know
is a
what?
possibility.
Maybe, I don't know.
Twitch already read the reports and was like, they out.
Oh, seriously?
Already,
Oh
at
my
least 2
God.
of them were like,
Yeah.
yeah, they broke the rules.
That was some. Ah.
Were
If
you
you're-
like,
yeah. If you're
he
watching
seems
us
like-
on YouTube, our Twitch chat got a little
inappropriate and
inappropriate
that's never
and
happened?
rude. And
Nope.
we apologize if you were just innocently watching on Twitch and that happened.
Yes, and also apologize to our guests. We
And to our
usually are
guests.
not harassed like that.
Yeah.
I think we
Not-
might have
not
just
the
shown up
norm around
somewhere
here.
like we're live and some kids are bored and mean.
Now they're not on Twitch anymore.
They are. They need to go and touch grass.
Bye.
Touch the grass.
It's after
grass.
your bedtime.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
to
Okay.
bed.
They might be on the West Coast, but still past
It's
your
still
bedtime.
after the
their
bedtime.
It's the evening.
the evening.
Go to
Go read a
bed.
book.
It's dark.
All right. So, any final thoughts on these episodes, future episodes, clones, the High
I wish
Republic?
the episodes were like this episode and the one with like Kara and everything. It was a lot of mood whiplash, the episodes.
Yeah.
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 I feel like last episode, number 13, could have been a crosshair centric episode, and we wouldn't have lost anything from our batch from episodes 12 to 14.
agree.
And that's where I think we just got more of. And like I know many of the team members behind this show are also the team behind Resistance, which is a show that like I love with all my heart, but like one of the major criticisms from folks in season 2 is that we didn't get enough Tam and her kind of
Yeah.
journey and her point of view as the person who kind of was on the First Order side. And I think we're kind of falling into that same issue here is we're just not getting enough Crosshair.
I
And
agree.
even if he's not like a formal member of the batch, he is still one of the, Clone Force 99 defective clones, and he's the clear antagonist in this season. And ultimately over the course of the season, I wish we had gotten more, because not only do I think it would have built up the tension between these two like sets of characters, but I think it would have given us a larger galactic perspective, which is what I truly have been seeking. And so the moments we've gotten it have been some of my favorite throughout the series. But I think there was the potential for more
So much potential
in
for
this season. And we
And
still
they've
might get
never-
more, but
And they've never revisited that beat when he comes back with the replacements
Mhm.
Yeah.
and is sitting in their old barracks.
And that
And
was power.
It was such a great moment, but
really
it's
good.
never been revisited. The immediate next time that they encounter each other, they're trying to kill each other, and there's no moment, there's no reaction, there's no flip to see how Crosshair is grappling with it. I mean, he got burnt up and he was still trying to gun down his brothers,
No
and then they never
emotional,
bring
yeah.
him up again. So there's no emotional stakes in that. So I'm really curious to see what the payoff is going to be
Mhm.
with this new hunter being caught. Because
Yeah.
there's some potential. They can play with some really interesting things, but
I wish we had gotten to know those three and his
exactly.
Yeah.
team a little bit better too, because they've all got like interesting looks, interesting voices, and I
Oh, yeah.
think there is in the potential for like us to get to know them, to get to see the disconnect or the connect between Crosshair and them, and the ways that they react differently to the Bad Batch.
Sure.
You know, them being like, bro, what up? Why are you so obsessed with them? Like, get over it. We have a bigger
Yeah.
mission at stakes. And he's like, absolutely not. And I think there would have been, or could have been, some really fascinating tension on both sides of the alliances here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree, because it would have served more to know more, hear more about Crosshair and his replacement. And it's not as if any of these episodes has moved the focus out of the Bad Batch, or at least the 6 remaining Bad Batches. I mean, like the Rylot episodes, that most of the story was focused on the Twi'leks. It would have been beneficial for the plot to have more about Crosshair, more about his interactions.
Imagine, like a whole episode that had just been set with Crosshair.
Yeah.
25 minutes of just that.
You remember that energy at the end of episode 3 where you're like, oh no. And then you just like, don't dive into that more.
It would have been cool
Yeah.
to see like a day in the life of Crosshair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he wakes up in his old bunk. He's like, gotta
He's all
go
sad.
murder some innocent people.
Have you
Jesus is toothpick.
seen Russian Doll? That
Not
one
yet.
song from the soundtrack. Oh my gosh, please watch it. It's so good.
I will.
But gotta get up. Got that, like that song that's on that soundtrack. I want
Yeah.
that to be Crosshair's Day in a Life.
Oh yeah.
When people love
Good idea with
villains too,
Donkey
it doesn't
Kong,
make
too.
sense that they
Yeah, I
don't do
mean,
more.
look at the people in this panel.
I wasn't pointing any fingers, you know.
And then also me. So you know.
I was like,
What?
this is fingers pointing back at you, Candace.
I know. I have no room to talk when it talks to villains. Yeah, so who knows? Again, y'all think Crosshair is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice myself. I'm good now. All those people I murdered doesn't
I
count.
think that's what's going to happen. That doesn't mean I like it.
He's like, no, everyone forgive me. I'm dying for this.
I want
You're the
the
cause I'm
redemption
dying
without
for.
death, but I don't think I'm getting it.
I think that would be
Yeah.
exceptionally disappointing, because
Yes.
there's
Love how you
the,
said
there truly is the potential for conflict to happen over multiple seasons here. And I think to kill him off, especially when we haven't gotten a lot of the emotional stakes or the emotional lingeringness of the betrayal and all that good stuff, right? Throughout this season, that it would just be like, but why? For him to die in the next 2 episodes.
I don't think he's going to die
Yeah.
this season. I just think he's going to die eventually. Like, and not in the like everybody dies way, but like redemption,
through that.
like
Equals death.
redemption through death
Yeah.
down the line. Like, I don't think it's going to be this season, because I think if they're either going to bring him back or they want to build out that conflict. But
Something that we never had in Star Wars.
We have
redemption
to
through
have,
death, we've never had that before.
Ever.
I really hope there is like an emotional conflict
Mhm.
And it's not just an action with crosshairs in the next 2 episodes, that we get like some feeling to it.
And I think that's what was so strong about Resistance, is that there were such emotional stakes between Kaz and Team Colossus versus Tam, and they had so much love and care for her despite her choice, and they might have been upset with her, but like they still loved her and they wanted her to make a better choice, and we're just missing that here.
Yes.
We're missing the
Um,
love, honestly.
And I just don't know why, you know?
Yeah, it's rude. Crosshair dying before being chipped is rude.
It's rude.
It's true.
I think we didn't get enough time with them as a unit, because I know we had the Bad Batch arc, but that was like the first arc back with the Clone Wars, and we were focusing on Anakin, we were focusing on the rescue of Echo, and we just didn't have enough time to really absorb the Bad Batch for who they were. And then in the first episode of their solo outing, Crosshair's like, good soldiers follow orders, bye. And then
I'm gonna go kill this kid
So,
who is Kanan, who we all love.
like, I'm gonna go shoot Kanan, and then maybe I'll shoot somebody else. And he just pieces out.
Yeah.
And then we don't get to see how they work together.
Yeah, I will
removed
totally
from
admit
Anakin Skywalker's drama.
during Clone Wars, the Bad Batch was like, give me Ahsoka. I don't care about these guys. Keep moving. I need me some Ahsoka. I need some Maul. Let's get to there. So it was just like,
Yeah. So I think we just didn't have enough time to see, like, maybe this is how they always were, and Crosshair was always a little bit distant, but they kind of love him like underneath it all. And then I think this would have been easier to take, is that they're just so used to not expressing emotion for Crosshair that they don't know how to deal with it now that he's just not there. So
except just randomly looking and be like, that's where he used to sit. That's
well,
it.
Megan, you
That's all
can
we
sit
know.
there now.
Yeah, Omega,
Yeah.
you're the new Crosshair.
I should give her a little tattoo.
You know, the thing-
Smaller.
The thing with Crosshair, though, is
Shaper
he
hair.
kind of was always isolated from the rest of the batch because he was the sniper. He's,
Yeah.
off up top. He's off away. And so they're communicating with him differently than they're communicating with the rest of their team. And I
Makes sense.
felt that in the first maybe 3 or 4 episodes. But, when we don't get him for so long and we're just kind of focusing on the Sid storyline, I just feel like we've lost the connection and the tension between the batch and Crosshair, and we get it in these moments, but it doesn't stick because it's happening at the last 12 seconds of each episode. So I'm hoping that it really sticks in these final 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to be a 2-episode arc? Like, it's
I
going to go
hope
together.
so.
Like,
100%.
I think so.
Yeah, they can't just be
I do
like,
too.
oh, we rescued Hunter in 20 minutes.
And then the finale is just them on some mission for Sid.
Oh my
They
goodness.
finished that job they had that Tech was so worried about.
I definitely think it's going to be a 2-parter because these are the only 2 episode titles we did not get in
Yeah.
that second
Good point.
drop of them. We got up to this week and then nothing after this week. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rex is coming back. That's the title.
Rex is coming back part 1. Rex is coming back part 2.
Oh my god, is that Ahsoka?
Contra
Is that
Rex.
Boba?
You know
Return of
what?
the King.
Rex?
I would
Colon.
not be surprised if the reason that they're keeping those titles under wraps is because it kind of subtly or like very explicitly, like Rescue on Ryloth, we're like, oh, hello Hera, like hello Ryloth, hello Twi'leks. Like I think it might be something like that for an established character that we know who's going to come in and swoop in. So I would not be surprised if it were Boba or Ahsoka
Hello.
or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe all of them, Ahsoka and Rex.
Just like
Literally
Avengers
kill me.
Endgame, they all just walk
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of
yeah.
some portals.
Yeah, Baby Yoda's there, Grogu's there.
On
He's
your
like,
left,
Grogu's there. Why
Grogu's
not?
like, I'm 30. I'm here. I'm
Quinlan
here.
Balls
Dirty
and
30.
Mace Windu and everyone.
Yeah, Mace Windu with like his arm missing and
Yeah.
can you
Like,
imagine
It's like,
Twitter
I
if
too fell.
Grogu shows up?
baby Ezra, toddler Sabine. It's like the baby rebels, like the Muppet Babies rebels.
I'm still hoping that Garrick Versio shows up in this series. Like I have a couple. So I have my 3
Yeah.
like wish lists. My first one is Bail Organa because this is me
Bail
we're talking
Organa.
about. 2, my
Yeah.
crack prediction is I would like Panaka to show up. If you know, you know.
Oh.
And then 3rd is Garrick Versio. And I just don't think we're gonna get any of them, but like
Whoa.
a girl can hope, and she is hoping.
I mean, Garrett Versio is not all that out of the question considering how many people thought that one soldier was Iden.
Yeah.
which obviously is not Aiden because Aiden's like what 5, but
Negative. She's negative.
Also,
oh,
not the
Aiden's not even
same.
born yet. Even
Thing,
better.
I think.
Also, Aiden's not even the race of that person.
Yeah.
Don't have me. Don't.
We're not
get me
getting
going on that
started.
rant.
Don't
I
get me
will go on a
started.
rant.
All right.
All
So
Asians are not the same. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Or not?
Sorry.
if there is nothing
Moving on.
else, Candace, where can people find you on that?
TheGeekyWaffle.com. You can find all our awesome recaps and podcasts. We have multiple podcasts hosted. Wait, there we go. These two people and also me. I host podcasts too there. The Geeky Waffle Network. So geekywaffle.com.
Yes. And you can find me on Twitter at Maggie of the Town. I have a link tree in my bio where you can find all of my various pursuits. I write over at Your Money Geek, at Collider, at Dork Side of the Force. I'm on the Outer Rim Beacon. I've got Let's Talk About Star Wars, which my giveaway is being announced on Sunday. So if you haven't gone over there and watched my 400 followers video and signed up, you should definitely do that because it's some cool prizes. And yeah, I'm all over the place. And I've got the Starbucks Lovers Taylor Swift podcast on the Geeky Waffle.
Okay, well, Norhal, you can find me on Twitter at Norhal, just this one. And you can see my link tree on my bio with all the publications where I collaborate. Last week, wrote a review on the Geeky Waffle for the comic book Mother of Madness #1 by Emilia Clarke. And yeah, also check my YouTube channel, Instagram. So yeah, and Twitter. I ran
some amazing covers on that YouTube and Instagram.
Thanks.
And TikTok.
You can find me on Twitter, Goodreads and Letterboxd at SCH221, and on Instagram at Sarah's Puzzle Pages, which is my joint Bookstagram/Jigsaw Puzzle Instagram account. Two of my favorite things. You can also find me talking about all of my Star Wars opinions on Friends of the Force, which I host alongside Brad. So yeah, that's at Friends of Force on Twitter.
Week.
Yes.
No, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
I know
The last
our
two
schedule.
Get your days right, Arzu.
Look,
No.
time is meaningless. Josh,
That's no meeting.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has trouble pointing at their name. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Battle of Tanab right here, and then Outer Rim Beacons is Outer Rim Beacon on all the socials as well. So.
and you can find me at Arzu Amin on Twitter. You can find me at arzud2.com, which is where all my Star Wars book reviews go. You can find me writing recaps and other various posts about things like Ice Planet Barbarians at thegeekywaffle.com, and also writing at Your Money Geek more and more these days. And you can find me hosting, what's the name of my show? Space Waffles. Look, I'm tired. The Twitch thing threw me off. My brain does not.
Oh my God, that really threw me off too.
You can find me hosting Space Waffles on the Geeky Waffle Network every other week, although we do have a special episode coming out this Monday, which is a part 2 of our Diaz episode that dropped this Monday.
It could not be stopped.
We could not be stopped. We had too many thoughts. So that will be out on Monday. And Geeky Waffle wise, you can also find our Patreon at patreon.com/Geeky Waffle, where our tiers start at $1. You get access to our to our Discord server. And from the second tier up, Waffles After Dark. Yes. So thank you so much.
Discord. Bree's reminding us of our Discord.
Discord, not Patreon. So yeah, so we will see everybody in 2 weeks on the Saturday night, not the Friday night, because reasons. So we will see you then.